You guys ready for this? Ever since the news crews started pouring into our city to showcase what's actually going on here, they're all in hiding. The grocery stores, the car washes, them detailing the brand new cars at the car washes, they're not there. The B&Bs are closed down. Guess why? This is day 2 because they don't want you to be able to see what's actually going on in there. They don't want the news stations to be able to actually go in and see what the hell's going on there. Like clockwork, there's always a line wrapped around the welfare office every morning. Guess what? There's no line. They're not out driving. They're not out walking the streets like they generally are. They're being told to lay low. They just want to continue to make us look like liars. Like, all the news crews were there. We didn't see any of that kind of stuff happening. Okay, well, guess what? Once this settles down a little bit, come back. I just really can't believe this is actually what's happening where I live.
Illegal immigrants have been causing such a stir in various cities in the US. Over the last couple of weeks, we've heard about the Springfield residents inundated with Haitian migrants. Now we're hearing about Bangor, Maine, as Haitian migrants are being influx or brought into that town. Now, I want to bring you something that one of the residents from Springfield, Ohio, had to say about the 20,000 Haitians that have been dropped off and that are living among them. And we've heard so much things about that, that people's pets are going missing, cats are going missing, geese, and so on. Even though the media doesn't want to shed light on it, we know that it's happening. But let's take a listen to what this young lady had to say.
One of the situations that I don't see people talking about a whole bunch is driving through Springfield, Ohio. I am terrified to drive my car through Springfield, Ohio. It is a scary place to drive your car through. They do not know what lane to turn from. They do not know any traffic laws. Now, I did go into the DMV a couple days ago, and the workers were talking about there are a lot of them trying to at least figure it out and learn the law and stuff like that. So that's good. That's a good thing. Another thing that I do hate about living here right now is it is dangerous going through your store. I've been I don't ever hear a lot of women talking about this, but when I do talk to women about this, they do bring it up and they do say the same thing. So I know I'm not the only one. But I've been stalked through stores by Haitian men. It's to the point where I would tell them, like, hey, stop fucking following me. And it's not like, oh, you're just being nervous. They ain't really following you. Yes, bitch, they're following me. If you go to the milk aisle, go to the freaking detailing section, and go to the toy section, and go to the toilet seat aisle, go to the dog food aisle, and they're same ones who are following you around, they're stalking you. They're stalking. So I always tell them, I let them know that I know that they're stalking me. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but anymore, I do not go to the grocery store by myself. If I do go by myself, I'm on the phone with somebody, I'm watching my surroundings, and best believe I have something on me. But
how can anyone think that this is normal or acceptable? That you have people stalking you, and yet they want to make this about a race. It's not about a race issue. This is a safety issue. This is so much more. Where residents of a city, of a state, don't feel comfortable with the individuals that are coming in. They don't feel safe. Like what's happening in Venezuela. That gang is taking over the hotel, and local gangs now are sort of like, what's going on here? I'm telling you that soon we're going to have civil unrest, and it's going to be between illegal immigrants and citizens of the United States because this thing is going to boil to a head. And I think that the government, the current administration, is doing this intentionally because they want to destroy the United States. That may sound crazy, but that's what I believe is happening here. And for their own purpose, they have an agenda.
so that also sucks. Another thing that I've fell in love with the gym. The gym has been my second home. Here lately, I just can't really stand going into the gym. There's some days where I have to wrap a jacket around my waist to feel comfortable going into my gym. It is a unisex gym. There's men and women there. But I've never really felt like I wasn't welcomed in my own gym. I will say that. That's one of the things I hate about the biggest thing the biggest thing I do hate about it right now is the gym right now. But, you know, they're in there working on themselves, that's good. But when they're in there watching women to the point where they're rubbing their junk and stuff, it's gross. It's giving foul, it's giving nasty, it's giving get the fuck out of my gym. So that's also going on. What else? Around the first of the month, it's hard finding some food items, I will say, for someone that doesn't have food stamps and pays cash out of her pocket for everything, for food and stuff. It is hard coming by some items. In Springfield, sometimes I have to go to multiple different grocery stores to find one item. Sometimes I go out of Springfield to shop at grocery stores just because I do feel a little bit more comfortable. And there's a lot more stuff available at those grocery stores. Other than that, I do feel like another thing that I do see, what I've heard from like some of my healthcare friends, is a lot of them are coming over with diseases, a lot of them are coming over with nasty cancers, a lot of them are coming over with stuff that's non-curable, which, you know, is terrible, you know, but it's terrible. But it has something to do with cleanliness or cleansingness or whatever you want to call it. Some of them are living in like really bad living conditions, and some of them are just moving in like houses that shouldn't even be allowed to be rented out to or allowed to be moved into. I do see them doing that. I see a lot of them at Goodwill buying like used like trash items that shouldn't even be at Goodwill. I feel like our Goodwill stores just offer like just trash items. There's a lot of them rolling around digging through trashes, and you know, just getting furniture and stuff like that. But you know, like, also you have to sit here and think that these people literally came from somewhere where they had literally nothing. They lived from like dirt homes. So like coming over here and the stuff that they see here and they have here, they probably think that they are rich the way they're living. And it is a big adjustment for us that have been here. It's a big adjustment for them. I've tried like talking to them, like, you know, excuse me, blah, blah, this, you know, I've tried saying like talking to them. I got to the point where I was like, you know, how nervous would I be if I were in a new country and didn't know shit too? So I've tried being nice to them. They're just rude as fuck. I don't know if that's just something in their culture where they just don't give a fuck and they're rude as fuck, and they don't talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. I have a couple kids that I know that go to city schools, and their parents are like, they're teaching my kids Haitian. I know those parents pull their kids out of city schools and trying to put them somewhere else because they're like, I don't want my kids to learn Haitian, or whether they speak German or French or something like that. But yeah, it's real crazy here. It's real crazy. The biggest thing I will say is, you know, driving's the biggest thing. I don't know.
Okay, there you have it from that young lady talking about how she feels, what she's experiencing in Springfield. Now let's go over to the story where 16 pet cats have suddenly disappeared in Bangor, Maine. No remains were found. However, experts don't believe an animal did this. And interesting enough, Bangor has just had an influx of Haitians. Let's hear what they had to say about this.
This was the last street that she was seen on.
2 weeks ago, Ann Foster's cat, Frankee Blue Eyes, went out at night as she usually does. But this time, she never came home.
She's so amazing and lovable. It's really a hole in my heart without her.
Frankee is one of at least 16 cats in Bangor's Fairmount neighborhood that have gone missing in the past 2 months.
They just disappeared without a trace.
It's been a month since Matt Morgan's cat Eloise went missing. Morgan says in the time that he's lived in the neighborhood, this influx is unusual.
There was never this kind of spike of this kind of activity. And the animals that disappeared, you know, they either were found, you know, later, or it just wasn't at that rate.
None of these cats have been found, making it hard for cat owners to get closure.
It's like you're in grief, but you can't really grieve because you don't know if they're actually gone.
What's on many neighbors' minds is, why did this happen? Bangor's animal control officer, Trisha Bruin, who is investigating these incidents, says she believes the cats were killed by wildlife. But she says it's possible some cats ran away and will return or were stolen. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, though, does not believe it's wildlife, as foxes, coyotes, and fishers have always been in the area.
But my question is, where's her collar? Where's her remains if it was an animal?
Exactly. And it's interesting, 16 cats within a 2-month period. That's a lot of cats to go missing. And there are no remains. The collars aren't left behind. Just like if like a coyote or some other type of wild animal would have eaten them, they would have left the remains behind. There you see the bones, the skeletons, those kind of things. But nothing like that is happening.
No remains of any cats have been found, but Foster remains hopeful that she'll get answers.
I'm not going to give up hope on Frankie, but I'm hoping she comes home soon. And everybody else's cats, they're amazing. And they're such an important part of the family.
Right now, Bruin says that pet owners should keep their animals inside at night and supervise them during the day to ensure their safety. In Bangor, Katie Delaney, News Center, Maine.
There you have it. 16 cats disappear just like that in 2 months. So, I mean, what people, the media, mainstream media doesn't want to talk about or want you to be aware of, that as part of the culture with Haitians, they practice voodoo. Voodoo is their religion. And as part of that religion, they sacrifice animals, specifically cats. Now, I'm not sure about the other types of animals, but cats are one of their prime animals that they use in their sacrifice. They also drink the blood, and they make these, they kill these animals as a sacrificial offer. Okay? That's part of their religion. That's not a racist thing to say. That is a fact. That's the religion of most Haitians. Okay? So this is not about race. It is about culture. And if anyone wants to tell you that you're being racist because you're talking about this thing, or that, you're picking on the Haitians because of what they're doing now that they've come to the United States, it's bullshit. Okay? It is about culture. This is their culture. And when you take a person from the country, the native country where they've been born and they've been raised, and you put them somewhere else, you take them, or they come in hundreds of thousands of miles away into the United States or even Canada. That culture is part of who they are. They're not just going to give up their culture because they've gone to a new country. So remember, it is about culture and it's not about race. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.